thank you for joining me this evening. I always appreciate your support and taking out time. You could be anywhere else in the world, but you decided to be here with me, and I do appreciate it. We're going to be talking about this total lunar eclipse in the sign of Scorpio at 25 degrees. If you have your birth chart, I want you to take a look at the planets that are in the window of 20 to 25 degrees and see where those planets are in your birth chart. And this is going to be an area that you may feel some kind of energy shifting for you. Now, because it's in the sign of Scorpio, Scorpio is a fixed sign. And anytime we have an event and it's hosted by a particular sign, the signs in that family are also heavily impacted. So, for this particular eclipse, which starts May the 16th and runs till about mid-August 2022, the signs that are going to be most impacted, whereas we're all going to feel it, but the signs that are going to be most impacted are going to be Scorpio, Taurus, Leo, and Aquarius. So if you have one of those signs in either your sun sign, your moon sign, or your rising sign, or if your chart, your personal chart has heavy energy around that, you are going to feel this eclipse, this eclipse a little bit more heavily than other people. But to be honest with you, this entire family of eclipses, those are the 4 signs that are going to be impacted throughout this, even until the rest of the end of the year in November. So I'm just going to tell you that, okay? Hey y'all. So those 4 signs are going to be heavily impacted by this. However, everybody's going to feel it. Everybody's going to feel it. Now, when we talk about a lunar eclipse, we're talking about the moon now. Now, with that solar eclipse, we were talking about the sun, but we're talking about the moon now, and that energy is a little bit different because this is our full moon of the month, but this is like a super full moon. You know, full moons are heavy and they carry a lot of weight and a lot of energy, but when you put it together with an eclipse, this is like a full moon on steroids. So, basically with a full moon, as I always say, this is a time that something needs to be ended, adjusted, or acknowledged, okay? So this full moon here is no differently. This is going to be when the moon is at its brightest. So it illuminates a light on certain areas of our life, certain areas that we may have been avoiding, certain areas where we have been deceiving ourselves possibly, certain areas where things have been kept from us, things that we need to know. So this is going to be the area of your life that you are going to get a revelation, some eye-opening information. You're going to have to deal with what is going on. Specifically, those people that know this situation has been going on, but you've been putting your head in the sand because you didn't want to deal with it. This lunar eclipse is no longer going to let you do that. And you're going to have to at least acknowledge the situation. Now, with any eclipse, whether it's a solar eclipse or a lunar eclipse, an eclipse sometimes, the definition of that is to take away something. So a lot of times with the eclipses, we see sometimes people leave our lives. We see situations leave our lives. We see opportunities leave our lives. We see stressful situations leave our lives. So I just want you to understand that during an eclipse time, there is the possibility that people will leave your life for whatever reason. Now, this could look like the ending of a relationship, the ending of a friendship, the ending of a business deal. This could look like maybe your boss, your manager, or you have a change in management happen, so someone leaves your company that you work for. And I would have to say this could also have people transitioning out of your life and crossing over. So if you don't know what crossing over means, this could actually be a literal death in your family of someone close to you, a friend, or something to that effect. So I do want to share that you could possibly lose someone in that way, okay? And because it's the lunar energy, I don't like to put a gender on it, but of course lunar energy is female energy or feminine energy. But I don't like to say that, a woman is going to leave your life. I don't like to say that, but you know, it could be get around feminine energy, but it could be anyone that leaves our lives. So I just want you to know that that is a possibility, and that could go across the board for anyone. Now, the interesting thing about this particular eclipse is it is going to be in conjunction to the South Node. Now, I'm not going to get too technical about these things, but I'm going to explain to you a little bit about the South Node. The South Node is not a planet. It's actually a point in the sky, but it carries a lot of weight. We have these 2 points. One is called the North Node. The other is the South Node. So they travel opposite to each other. So the North Node is the node of we consider our destiny. This is the direction that we're going in. So when the North Node is going through a house in your transit chart, when it's going through a house, the North Node is there to push you towards where you need to be going. Okay. Now, simultaneously, the South Node is going through a house, but it's kind of going in reverse. The South Node's job is to assist you in releasing certain things. The North Node is to your destiny and your future, but the South Node has you going back over things from the past and putting you in the position of releasing those things that are no longer necessary. Releasing those things in your life that no longer serve you well. Releasing those things that are just no longer a part of who you are and the direction that you're going in. The lunar eclipse, which is the moon, and the South Node on the 16th are going to be right there together. And so anytime a planet is in proximity to each other, they're having a conversation, basically. And there is a reaction or an energy that comes off of this. So because we have the moon in Scorpio, we have the South Node in Scorpio also, and they're going to be right up there together. This now doubly intensifies the need for you to release whatever this thing is that is holding you back from your true destiny. You can also look at the South Node energy as you've done this before. Because in all honesty, South Node is all about your past life. Hey, Renee, the South Node is actually about your past life. And I know some people don't believe in reincarnation. That's fine. You don't have to. You can just look at it as for you, this is an area that you just need to release that no longer serves you. But if you're someone that believes in reincarnation, which I do, this is the life that you've lived before. You know how to do this. You don't have to repeat this again. And what the South Node and this lunar eclipse is saying to you, you know how to do this area of your life. You've lived this before. So what I need you to do is take what is working for you. Take the lesson, take the gift, take the benefit, and you keep that and you release everything else that doesn't serve you. You release everything else that doesn't work for you. So whether you believe in it or not, that's how the South Node works. So does anyone have any questions about the lunar eclipse? We're going to move into talking about our individual rising signs. And I am going to tell you where this eclipse is going to be in your life, and over the next 3 months, how this could show up in your life and how you can use this energy and use this time to put yourself in a better situation. Now, keep in mind, these eclipses are not temporary type things. These eclipses are setting you in motion for years down the line. So this ain't some stuff that you're just going to be dealing with for the next 3 months or the next 6 months. The decisions that you make around this eclipse are going to impact your life for the next several years. Yeah, they're going to impact your life for the next several years. So this ain't no, okay, well, I got the lesson and I'm going to move on. No, you are going to be making some very hard decisions for yourself and setting your life up for the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years. Yes, and I'm not exaggerating. The decisions you make around now for this year are going to impact you as you move forward in your life. So this is why it's very important that you get very clear, get very honest with yourself, and start to do the work that needs to be done, okay, in order for you to move forward in a positive way. Okay, did I scare anybody? You should be scared because this is your life. This is your life, okay? Yeah, be scared. So let's see. Oh, so we're going to talk about where the eclipse is going to be in your life. And I'm also going to tell you where there's going to be another area of your life that you may feel some pressure also. So the eclipse is all about making decisions, making changes, releasing things that no longer serve us. But I'm also going to tell you about a certain area of your life that may have a lot of put a lot of pressure on you over the next 3 months. Now, that particular area is kind of temporary, so it's like over the next 3 months you may see this play out. But this eclipse energy, this is like real life-changing stuff. So, does everyone have their rising? Who is going to impact the most? We talked about the South Node. We talked about where it's going to square. Okay, so let's start. Aries Rising. Aries Risings, Sun or Moon. The lunar eclipse in the sign of Scorpio is actually going to be in the area of your life that governs your shared resources and shared finances, okay? This is an area of things that we share with another person, and we share with another entity on a financial level. This is also the area that governs of your life that governs inheritances, taxes. Don't be scared. You'll be fine, Corinza. Inheritances, taxes, loans, child support, credit cards, anything that is in conjunction with another person on a financial level, okay? This is all about the money that you receive through another person, not about the money that you earn from your job. So everything outside of what you earn from your job or your personal business, this is what governs the 8th house. Now, this is also the area that governs sex and intimacy and the private things in our life. You know, things that we guard, that we may not necessarily want people to know about us because we don't know how they would react to it. So, the eclipse, again, is all about releasing certain things. So, for the 8th house in my Aries risings, this is going to have a lot to do with you really, really taking a hard look, because Scorpio is all about investigating and getting down and finding out what is going on. Particularly those that are in a committed relationship, a marriage, or a business. It would be in your best interest that you start taking an active role in the finances that you share with another person. Now, I'm not going to just say that there's some tomfoolery or trickery going on. However, there could be. But this is the energy of you really getting clear on your resources and your finances and things that you share with another person. Are your finances being handled the best possible way that they can be handled between the two of you? Is there some financial infidelity going on between either on your part or your partner's part? So financial infidelity, if people don't realize that that is a thing, basically means do you have someone that's in the relationship, whether it's a business or a romantic or a marriage, that is not being honest about the financial situation that you're in as a couple? This could look like someone not disclosing the amount of debt that the two of you are in. So maybe you have a spouse that is the primary person that takes care of the finances, and they're not disclosing to you that you guys are in debt, or they've mismanaged the finances within your relationship and you don't know about it. This is the time that you need to take an active role in finding out what is really going on with the connection you have with someone else with regards to your money and your finances and your resources, okay? If you are the person that's being financially dishonest, this is going to come up and it's going to come out. So it would be better for you to be proactive in disclosing the situation that you may be in financially to your partner, as opposed to them finding out, and then now we have a whole situation with regards to you not being honest about your finances. So again, all about protecting yourself, investigating, and finding out what's going on with those shared resources from someone else. Now, again, I mentioned this is the area of inheritances and taxes and things of that nature. So that all falls into inheritances, taxes, making sure your taxes are on the up and up. That is a very big deal for you over the next 3 months and moving forward. Again, remember, this energy is all about setting yourself up for the next few years, not just the next 3 months, the next several years. So some of you could be the recipient of an inheritance. Keep in mind, I always say, don't always think an inheritance is someone dying, but it could be, because this is an eclipse energy. But this could be someone that gives you something because they want you to have it now. Now, the problem, and I want to say problem, the issue with that may come up with regards to inheritance could be someone coming in and feeling that they are privy to what you're receiving. So there may be a complication on you receiving this inheritance. Maybe there's just a lot of red tape, or maybe there's someone that's challenging this inheritance and saying that you're not the one that's supposed to receive it. Whatever the situation could be, there could be some issues around the receiving of inheritances that are supposed to go to you. You know, it could happen. Now, this is also a good time for you to, because this is a Pluto energy, and Pluto and Scorpio is all about investigating, I would tell you that my Aries Risings, take a proactive stance on how you spend your money, on what you invest your money in. If you need to go to the bank to refinance anything, like your home or your car or anything to that nature, you need to start taking a proactive look at how you do money and how you can now make money work for you as opposed to you working for money, and how to make money benefit you. So I need my Aries Risings to really, really get serious about how you're doing money, whether it's with another person or whether it's money that you're investing in something else. Get serious about it. Now, this is also the area that governs sex and intimacy. Aries Risings. There could be a disruption or a discussion or something that needs to be addressed with regards to whom you are connecting with on an intimate level, and most importantly on a sexual level. Aries Risings may be going through this period of, or may go through this period of wanting a deeper connection with someone. Now, this could be my single Aries Risings that is looking for someone to connect with on an intimate level. But you need to really get clear on what it is that you want from another person. Because this is the area of sex and intimacy, I feel like a lot of people they confuse the two and think that they're the same thing. No, they're not the same thing. Sex is the physical act, and intimacy is the connection. So sometimes we can get in a space of confusing intimacy with sex, and we think we want sex, but what we really want is intimacy. If my Aries risings have found themselves in a situation where they've connected with someone and they may start to discover that what they went into this relationship or this connection with looking for is not what they're really getting. Because if you went into this looking for an intimate connection and all you did was find yourself having sex, you may discover that this is not what I wanted. I wanted intimacy. I didn't want sex, or vice versa. So there may be a discussion with regards to a romantic connection or an intimate connection you have with another person that you need to really get clear about whether or not this is the dynamic you want for yourself. Now, because this is the area also of taboo things, I need some of my Aries risings to just finally acknowledge the fact that y'all have some kink about sex that y'all like, and you need to quit hiding it. Embrace it. This is the time for you to embrace everything about yourself with regards to your sexuality. I feel like there's a Aries rising out there right now struggling with their sexuality for whatever reason. This is a time that this energy supports you and going in the direction that you want to go to. Live your life the way you want to in that area of your life. Whatever that looks like for you, it is time to free yourself from that burden of being embarrassed by whatever thing this is that you enjoy, or this how you want to live your life. This is an energy of supporting you and getting in the space that you want to be in. Okay? Now, the area that actually may give you a little stress over the next 3 months, now we're talking about a temporary energy, is the squaring off of your 11th house of your friends. So some of my Aries risings may have some difficulties around their friendships, difficulties around any type of organizations or groups that they're a part of. This could also show up in difficulties or pressure with regards to their long-term goals, dreams, and wishes. So be mindful that your friend groups, your friends, your associates that you have around you, there may be some pressure or uncomfortable situations with them. There may be some things that need to be addressed within your friend groups. There could be the possibility of a breakup of a friendship. And this is also, again, energy and focus put on your long-term goals. So it could pan out to a goal or a dream or something that you've been working on. You just feel like that this thing is just not coming together. And you may have to readjust how you're approaching it, or you may just have to start over. Okay? The next one is going to be Taurus risings, sun or moon. The eclipse is going to be in your 7th house of one-on-one relationships. So one-on-one relationships, business, marriage, long-term commitments, best friends, families, anyone that we make a one-on-one connection with. Okay, we go into a conscious, chosen relationship with whatever that relationship dynamic is. This is also the area of legal proceedings and legal contracts. So for my Taurus risings, some of you, I'm just going to be honest with you, are going to be feeling the ending of a relationship, a significant relationship in your life, okay? Could be coming to an end during this eclipse. If it's not a full ending, like the two of you go your separate ways, this is going to be an energy that you have to really take a look at your one-on-one relationships. And just don't think romantic. Again, business or family or something to that effect. You got to look at how you're doing one-on-one relationships. The relationships in your life, are they serving you well? The people that you've connected yourself with, are they serving you well? Some of you could be ending a lot of one-on-one relationships that you never thought you would end. But if it's not going your separate ways, this could also look like the ending of how you do the relationship. Acknowledging that the relationship is in an unhealthy space and in an unhealthy dynamic, and we can no longer do it this way. So if we're going to stay together, how we do this relationship has to end, and we have to do it differently. So there's going to be a lot of work, a lot of adjustments on how you do relationships, because this is going to carry you over for the next few years. If you're a Taurus rising that does not know how to do relationships, you need to acknowledge the fact that you don't do relationships well, that you haven't had success in how you do relationships. And you have to really put a spotlight, shine the light from this full moon on yourself and just be real with it that I do relationships in a fucked up way and it needs to change. And it can't always be the other person. It can't always be, I know my Taurus risings are perfect, but it can't always be the other person. So you are the common denominator in these relationships. And at some point, you're going to have to acknowledge that maybe I don't do relationships in the best way. Maybe I don't show up like I should with my one-on-one relationships, and I could do it in a healthier way. Or you may have to acknowledge that the person that you're dealing with on whatever level this person does not fit in my life. And I've done everything that I can do. I've tried to adjust and change as much as I could, but it just doesn't work. And you have to release. You have to release this thing. I think I have gotten on somebody's nerve on the Facebook because they told me, all right, already, move on. But I'm just telling you, the area of your life that could be eclipsed is the area that you do one-on-one relationships, okay? And for those of you that have been having a legal situation going on, you may actually see an end to this in some way. Hopefully that. Now, the area that you're probably going to feel a lot of pressure over the next 3 months is going to be in the area of your career. So some of you probably are already feeling this squaring energy, because a square is pressure. It's like putting you in a box, and it's saying that you need to make a decision. Something needs to happen because we need to get out of this box, and we don't like being uncomfortable here. So it's going to be in the area of your career. So some of you may be thinking, I hate this job. I've hated this job for years. I got to do something different. So the square is putting so much pressure on you that you have to do something. And I feel like with my Taurus risings, these are like one of the more stubborn signs of the zodiac. And this pressure is really, really getting to them that they're going to be forced to make a change. So you could be seeing, and the square is all about changes that you make, okay? You have to make it. So if you are feeling uncomfortable in your career path, if you're feeling uncomfortable at your job, if you're having an issue with people that you work with or authority figures, something is about to break. So you need to be on the more of the proactive part of this. It is time for you to make a decision with regards to the direction of where your career is going, okay? You can't avoid it anymore. You can't run from it anymore. If you don't like where you are, it's time for you to make a change. And you're the only one that can make a change. And this is in the area of your career. Now, keep in mind, this is the 10th house. And this is not only just about career. So those of you that are not in the workforce, you're like, well, how does that impact me? This could impact you in a way of, I sometimes look at people that are out of the workforce. This is all about your public image, what you're known for, your standing, how people see you, whether that's in business, your job, or your family. Something is going on with regards to how you're showing up in the world. How you're showing up in the world and how you want to be received and the changes you want to make. So whatever those changes that you're trying to make internally for yourself, whether they have to do with your career, or whether they have to do with how you show up in your family, how you show up in your business, it is time for you to change. This is the area of titles. So maybe your title is changing. Now, I'm going to tell you this is also a relationship house. So some of my Taurus risings, this goes back to that 7th house. Some of you are going to be changing your title. So I feel like some of you either are going to go ahead and pull the trigger on that divorce and go ahead and get divorced, or pull the trigger on it's time for us to settle down. It's time for us to stop playing around and let's get so. Some of my Taurus risings will be making a significant decision with regards to a relationship. So this may have you going from being single to married, married to divorce, coupled up in some way. But somehow the way you present to the world and what the world knows you as is going to change over the next 3 months. And this could also include your career path changing over the next 3 months, okay? Gemini risings, sun or moon, the eclipse is going to be in your 6th house. Health and fitness, mental and physical health, your work environment. This is the area of the foods that we eat. This is also the area that governs our small pets and service to others. So this is eclipse energy. It's setting you up to acknowledge you need to pay attention to your health, mental and physical health. Something has got to change about how you take care of yourself, addressing your health, your mental health. I cannot stress that enough with Gemini. Your mental health could come into focus under this energy. Now, with the health situation, this is one of those houses where if you do not get in front of your health and start to take care of yourself, this eclipse could bring up a health crisis for you. Okay? It could bring up a health crisis in order for you to pay attention to the things that you need to pay attention to with regards to your health. So I would rather not you have a crisis. I would rather you just, again, the word of tonight is to be proactive, being proactive for everything. Get in front of these health issues that you have for yourself. Even if you're saying to yourself, well, Sonia, I don't have any obvious health issues. You never know what could be an underlying thing going on with your health. So if you've been neglectful with going to the doctor, because I'm an advocate of traditional medicine as well as holistic ways of healing your body. If you have not been doing your regular checkups, if you've not been going to the doctor as you should, I'm going to ask that you do that now for the physical part of you. Here, the mental part. Some of y'all need to be in therapy. I don't know why the hell y'all haven't been in therapy. Everybody needs to be in therapy, especially after the 2020 we had and everything that went down. Y'all can't tell me y'all don't need to be in therapy. And Gemini is all about the mind. So I'm wondering if there's a Gemini rising out there, sun or moon, that's been dealing with anxiety, or they've been dealing with depression, or they have just been, mind has been racing. You need to address your mental health. So if you need to get a therapist, if you need to go to counseling, whatever counseling or therapy looks like for you, you need to address this. Because again, we're setting up for the next few years. And you cannot continue to avoid your mental health issues. You can't continue to avoid your physical health issues and act as if nothing is going on with you. Now, again, I'm an advocate for traditional medicine, but I'm also an advocate of holistic medicine. Some of you are going to need to change your diet in a very extreme way. So this could look like needing to alter your eating. So this could look like you becoming a vegetarian, a vegan, a pescatarian, eliminating certain foods from your diet. Something extreme needs to change about how you care for your body and what you put into your body, especially if you are medicating yourself. I would really caution you about medicating yourself. Research everything that goes into your body, even the things that are prescribed to you by a physician. You need to be your own advocate on your health here over the next few months and moving into the next few years. Your health needs to be important. To you. Now, this is also the area of your work environment. And this is who we work with, around, and for. Definitely changes in your work environment. So this could look like a brand new job, an opportunity to go to a new job. Or if it's not a new job and you just say, I love where I work, this is a restructuring of your work environment. So remember we talked about eclipses take people away or take people out of our lives. Some of my Gemini risings may be experiencing this thing where a manager or a supervisor or even a coworker leaves your work environment, leaves the job. So either they leave the job completely or they go to another department. But there's going to be transformative changes in your work environment. This may look like a lot of changes with regards to the work that you do. So if it's not a brand new job, which I think most of you guys are going to be staying in the same job, what you do is going to change. Some of you may be getting a promotion or a lateral move, going to a different department. Now, there may not be any money attached to this, or maybe if there is, it's not that much, but it's more about the title change. It's more about, you getting more skills, a higher skill set to put on your resume, something to that effect. But your work environment changing and transforming that affects you for the next few years. And this is also the area of pets. Some of you may be having issues with the health of your pet. Okay, I just had to tell you that. And Gemini Risings, where you may find the squaring off pressure over the next 3 months, is going to be in the area of your educational pursuits. So this is higher education. This is long distance travel. This is also our belief system. The law is also here, and religion and spirituality. So if you think about it, with that squaring off in that 9th house, this actually could look like some of my Gemini risings having difficulty with educational pursuits. So I don't know if some of you are in school and you've just been struggling with trying to finish an educational program, or some of you are having trouble securing funds to go to school. Just a lot of pressure around that. Don't give up. It should get easier within the next 3 months. Okay. But this is all about getting serious about educational pursuits. Maybe some of you are thinking about going back to school and you can't decide what you want to do. So getting very serious about it, making a decision with regards to whether or not you're going back to school. And this could also be an energy around some of you struggling or having some kind of doubt or struggle with your religious and spiritual beliefs. Maybe some of my Gemini risings are struggling to connect with their religious beliefs. And these are the beliefs that you've had for years, and maybe you feel like you're disconnected from that. You need to investigate that. You need to see why you're feeling like you're no longer connected to your belief system. And maybe it is time for you to have a new belief system for yourself. Maybe it's time for you to look at a different way to worship. Maybe it's time for you to finally structure or restructure a spiritual life for you. That could be what's going on with you with regards to that. Okay? Cancer rising, Cancer suns, or Cancer moon. The eclipse is going to be in your 5th house. This is the house of joy. This is the house of dating, love affairs, romance. This is the house of our children, procreation, and our self-expression, things that bring us joy, our creative projects and our hobbies. So the eclipse is going to be in the 5th house. All right, so let's talk about dating, because this is the house of dating. All right, so if I have some Cancer risings out there that have been dating, this may be the energy around you finally deciding whether or not the person that you're dating is the one for you. Maybe this has you looking at the relationship more seriously. So this could be either we taking this relationship to another level and getting more serious, or this could be this relationship is not going anywhere and I don't see the point of us continuing on. But there's going to be some attention on those of you that are currently dating, all right? A decision being made with regards to that particular relationship that you have going on. Now, those of you that are single, this could be actually having you look at how you date. And maybe you're deciding, okay, I'm ready to put myself out there. I'm ready to get back out there and start dating. But you want to do it differently this time. Getting very clear on what you want. It says, my Cancer boyfriend has perked all the way, all the way up. Okay, well, he can perk up. So, for my single Cancer risings, this could definitely look like you're ready to get back out there, possibly. But you need to really get clear about your relationship and what you want from a relationship and how you show up in relationships. And be very honest with yourself. If you suck at dating and you suck at relationships, okay, be honest about that. Okay, you know, the first step to, you know, fixing something is acknowledging that, you know, I suck at dating. So you need to start figuring out how to do this differently. Because remember, we're setting up for long term. So we don't want to go back out there and put ourselves out there again, and we're still doing the same thing and we're getting the same results. So this is all about getting serious about how you date, who you want to date, what you want to do, what is the end result. Now again, I'm going to go back to my coupled up Cancers. This is about making a decision on where is this going. Is this going anywhere? Okay, so there may be more of a serious about, let's take this relationship to another level. Let's decide that we're going to date exclusively or monogamously, or we're going to now date with the purpose of being married. But something around the dynamics of the relationship getting more serious. Now, this could also look like some of my Cancer risings. Finding out that you're pregnant. Finding out that you're pregnant. Or finding out maybe someone close to you is pregnant. So maybe some of my Cancer risings are becoming grandparents for the first time, or grandparents for the 10th time. Whatever. There could be an energy of children being in your life and taking up a significant role in your life. Maybe some of you are going to meet someone that has children, and now you're deciding that you're dating someone with kids, or combining families, and y'all getting serious about how we're going to do this blended family. But children becoming a highlight for you. Now, those of you that have kids, because this area of our children, I'm just going to put it this way. Someone's children or child may be in somewhat of a crisis. You may find that your children are maybe entering into a different phase in their life. We go through these ages where they go from being, babies to toddlers to, little kids, and now they're going into their teenage years, or they're going into, being young adults. And maybe the transition has not been easy, or it isn't going to be easy for them. So a lot of energy around formulating your relationships with your children. If you've been having difficulty with your kids for whatever reason, this is a time for you to try to discover how to reconnect, how to bridge the gap, how to relate to them on a different level, because you can't parent your children the same way. I had this whole experience with my son a couple of years ago, and my son is a grown man, but I was still trying to parent him like he was 10 years old. And he finally had to get enough nerve, because I can't believe he did, to kind of check me and let me know that he's a grown man and he can make his own decisions. And I can't be trying to tell him what to do like he's 10 years old. So maybe it's a dynamic around the changing of the relationship and how you relate to your children needing to change. I don't know who that's for. I wish you luck, because the children are horrible. But anyway, and this can also be about your self-expression, your hobbies. Some of my Cancer risings, y'all need to take those talents that you have, take those hobbies that you have, and turn those things into a business. Stop giving away your gifts. Stop giving away your gifts that God has given you, and these talents and these hobbies and these things that you're good at. Turn that into a business. I don't know why people think that because God has given you a gift that you just have to give it away. No, that doesn't work like that. If you have a hobby, a gift, or a talent, this is the time for you to transform that thing into a business, okay? So I want to see more of my Cancer risings doing that. You may actually find out that this is something that you love to do, you can make money from, and that could change the whole trajectory of your career life. And this could change and put you in a direction of being in business for yourself. But stop giving away your talents and gifts and all of that. And this could also look like some of my Cancer risings that have wanted to get into the stock market, that have wanted to do maybe the cryptocurrency or trading or something like that. You guys may want to try to start investigating how to do that. Or you may find out you have a natural gift for that. Now, when I talk about the stock market and all of that stuff, I tell people I am not a financial guru. So I'm not telling you to go out there and just invest everything you have in that, because I don't know anything about that. But this could be an area that transforms your life, whereas you want to use your money and put it in the stock market to make money. But do not put in more than you can afford to lose. I'm just in it. Now, the area that you may have a lot of, may have a little pressure on you, or a lot of pressure on you over the next 3 months, is going to be in the area of intimate connections. So this is intimacy, this is sex, this is shared resources and finances that you share with another person. So there may be some pressure on, this is crazy, the intimate connection that you have with someone else. Some of my Cancer risings, I'm just going to be honest with you, y'all just going through this period of connecting with someone else or connecting with another person is heavy on your mind. Is heavy on how am I going to move forward in life? You know, wanting an intimate connection with someone, wanting to tie yourself with someone that you can see yourself with for the rest of your life. So that is very important. Now, before we start tying ourselves to people, we need to get clear on the finances of these other people. So we're going to have to take a hard look at the combining of monies and resources with the other person. And let's just be serious. You know, a lot of people don't want to have the tough discussions about finances, especially when you're dating someone and y'all are getting ready to go into the committed part of the relationship and possibly get married. People like to avoid the discussion about money. And I don't understand why, because the number one reason people get divorced is money. So this could be over the next 3 months, Cancer Risings, getting clear on how you want to put your monies together with another person, okay? Some people love to say, oh, you just get together and we put everything together and we just did. No, that shit don't work. Let's be serious. Some people don't need to combine money together. And if you don't need to combine your resources and finances with another person, then you need just to be honest and say, I would rather keep things separate because it works better. You need to be clear on what the other person's credit is like. You need to be clear on how the other person spends money. Are they a saver? Are they a spender? Are they a hoarder? Do they have bad credit? Just really, really being clear about the combining of resources and finances. You know, how do you want to split? Do you want to split bills? Or what's going to be the dynamic of us and money once we get together? All those kinds of things need to be discussed, okay, with your partner, all right? So, do we have any questions so far for Aries, Taurus, Gemini, or Cancer? Yeah, because I got to wrap this up in the next 30 minutes. Any questions so far? Anything I could clarify for anyone before we move forward to the next 4 signs? All right, I guess not. But if you have a question, put it in the chat and I will address it. So the next one coming up is Leo Rising, Sun or Moon. I am a Leo Rising. Okay, I tell people that all the time. I don't know why. I don't know if y'all care or not, but I'm a Leo Rising. So focus on the finance this year. What's your rising sign? Oh, you're a Cancer Rising? Cancer Rising, focusing on finances you share with another person specifically. Sharing with another person. All right? So Leo Risings, I got somebody over here that says, me too. So this is what's coming up for you with the eclipse, the solar eclipse. The solar eclipse is going to be in the area of your home life. So this looks like real estate. This looks like the actual home that you live in. This looks like your family. So this is the family that you come from and the family you create for yourself. This is also your emotional stability, all right? And this is the area that governs the prominent women in our life. So this is the women that are close to us and that are around us. I consider our mother, grandmother, sister, aunt, those women that are in that inner circle with us. So let's talk about this eclipse, Leo Risings, in the 4th house. Now, this is a very karmic house because it is tied to our family. So this could definitely look like changes in the dynamics of your family life. All right. So let's talk about the family that you come from. It is an eclipse. So I would have to say that you could possibly lose someone in your family. Now, when I say lose someone, I mean that someone, y'all have a falling out or for whatever reason, or this could actually be someone transitioning out of your life. It could be a death in your immediate family. It could possibly be. Or this could look like the dynamics of your family, especially those that have been having issues within your family. This is the time that those things need to be addressed. And they could come up in a way where if no one takes the time to just put it out on the table, there could be some kind of upheaval in the family that basically forces you to deal with family issues. Now, this could also be in your current family, your own family. There could be some family issues or family changes that you're going through that are very transformative. This could also look like some of my Leo rising, somebody either moving in or out. So there could be people moving in and out of your space. This could look like some of my Leo risings actually moving. They could have a big move for themselves, or some renovations or changes in your physical space could come about, okay? So everything around your home life, buying and selling property, people moving in and out, dealing with family issues or family dynamics, the potential for someone to be leaving your everyday life, the potential for maybe a death in the family, or if it's not an actual literal death in the family, this could look like the dying off of a relationship and how that relationship is done. Now, we have to be able to release. If you are in a toxic relationship that has to do with your family, you have to release that thing. I don't care what the relationship is. I don't care if this is your mother. I don't care if your dad, your sister, or whomever. If the relationship is toxic, if the relationship is just, it's not sustainable, you have to trust the universe to release the relationship. And if this means this person has to be released from your life, then so be it. If this means the changing of how you deal with this person has to change, then so be it. But a lot of energy around how you do family dynamics, okay? And again, this could be your physical space is changing. You move. You do redecorating or renovations. Some of you actually, somebody's moving into somebody's house. Somebody's about to move in together, or somebody's moving into someone's house. That's all I can say about that. But a lot of activity around the family, okay, with this eclipse. Now, keep in mind, this eclipse has everything to do with setting your family dynamic up for the next several years. So the decisions that you make around this family dynamic are going to carry weight for the next few years. So that's why it's so important that you really get clear on what's going on. You really start to address the things that you push under the rug with regards to family dynamics, you know. Especially culturally with Black people, we don't like to deal with family dynamics. We like to push shit under the rug, okay? The rug is filled. Nothing else can get under the rug. So now what this eclipse is doing is pulling back the rug, and now we have to deal with our bullshit that we have been avoiding. So it is what it is, all right? So you have support from the universe and this eclipse to help you deal with these family dynamics. And I don't want it all to be doom and gloom. This actually is going to put you in a better place, but you have to do the work now in order for this to get better, all right? Anyway, the squaring is going to be for my Leo risings in our 7th house. Hey, baby. Our 7th house of one-on-one relationships. Oh, great. This is great. Okay, so one-on-one relationships, business, marriage, long-term commitments, our boyfriend, our family, our whatever, those commitments we make to someone else, legal proceedings and legal contracts in this area. Pressure around relationships. Okay, some of y'all need to get off either shit or get off the pot with your relationship. Either y'all doing this with the relationship or you're not. Because I feel like some of my Leo risings have been bullshitting around with their relationship situation. I'll get you in a minute. You're not too late. Some of my Leo risings have been bullshitting around with relationships. So either you're in it or you're not. Okay? Make a decision. Make a decision. Our one-on-one relationships. Now, on a positive note, some of my Leo risings are about to get into a committed relationship. They really, really are. The square for them is about making the decision, are you ready to be in a committed, healthy, committed, mature relationship? So I feel like that is coming down the pipeline. Leo risings, you know, we've been dealing with relationship dynamics, and I told y'all, a lot of y'all are going to be either got coupled up last year, getting coupled up this year, or next year by the summertime will have serious relationships in their life, whatever that looks like. So this squaring that we have right now is just another phase of the relationship. Now, for those Leo risings that don't know how to do the relationships, y'all suck at relationships. I'm one of those that sucks at relationships. This is all about learning how to do healthy relationships, dealing with your own shit that you do, and you know it's not healthy. I'm kind of like the queen of ghosting, so I already know that I have an issue with ghosting people, and I don't like to girls, it's just a whole bullshit. But I know that I have my own faults when it comes to relationship, and now I need to address what's going on. This is for Leo risings across the board. If you want a healthy dynamic, if you want a healthy relationship, if you want to be in something committed and something solid, you're going to have to work on doing better at relationships. Simple as that. And the squaring is putting the pressure on, because you keep saying you want a relationship, but you're not doing the work. It doesn't work like that, okay? And some of you are going to be probably getting engaged or married in the next 3 months, and this is where that legal binding contract comes in. But make sure you're ready, all right? That's Leo risings. Virgo risings, sun or moon. Your eclipse is going to be in the 3rd house of communication, teaching and learning opportunities, short distance travel, media pursuits, our siblings, our cousins, and our neighbors and our neighborhood is going to be here. So for my Virgo risings, the eclipse is going to affect, number one, your relationship dynamic with your siblings. Now, you may not have siblings. This could also be your cousins or your extended family. So a lot of energy around those particular relationships are going to come into play. Now, again, this is transformative energy. This is transformative, digging down deep, figuring out what's going on with the dynamics of your siblings, your cousins, and your neighbors. If there's been issues with those relationships, it's time that you address them. You have supportive energy to help you with that, whatever those dynamics look like. This is also the area of communication. So I feel like for my Virgo risings, this is an energy of finding your voice. Finding your voice for my Virgo risings. If you have felt like what you said, what you were saying to people, or how, number one, how you communicate could get better, okay? Hey, Kogan. How you communicate could get better. So I want you to start working on your communication skills and how you communicate, because you need to become a more effective communicator. Number two, this is finding your voice. So sometimes with finding your voice is because you're saying certain things, but people are not either taking what you say seriously, not really understanding, or you're not communicating effectively what your needs are. This is the time that you need to find your voice. Virgo risings, the Virgo energy is all about service to others. And I feel like a lot of times my Virgos sacrifice too much, and they put other people's needs ahead of their own. This is not the time for that. You need to vocalize what you need. You need to vocalize what you want and what you don't like and what you will not allow. But you're going to have to find your voice with this. You're going to have to develop that whole thing of, this is what I say, this is what I mean, and this is what I want. So effective communication becoming a part of your life. I think this is awesome for you. I think this is great for you. And that could mean having those hard conversations with your siblings, whatever that is. You know, whether y'all been having issues with each other, whether there's a problem with your siblings or your cousins or whatever, or even your neighbors, because this is the house of neighbors. Saying what needs to be said. You know, it may hurt people's feelings, but you need to speak up. Feelings may be hurt in a moment, but this is for for the long run, in bettering the relationship or understanding what's going on with the dynamics of that. Now, this is also a transformation around your neighborhood. Sometimes I think this is a move when it's in the third house because it is about your neighborhood, but maybe it's not a move. Maybe something about your neighborhood or your surroundings is changing in a physical way. I don't know if y'all getting gentrified. I don't know if the neighborhood is just not as safe as it was before, or they're making improvements in your neighborhood, or you're getting new neighbors, but there's a transformation around your neighborhood. Now, if this is a move, this move looks more like you live here and you move, but you're not moving far away. You're kind of still in the same general area. So it could be like a little short distance move or something like that. Sometimes you're there. This is also the area of short distance travel. I consider short distance travel anything that you don't need a passport for. So this is a lot of domestic travel and a lot of road trips. I would suggest that my Virgo Risings do a lot of road trips this year. Get in the car. Go explore. Don't get on the plane with all them crazy people because they ain't wearing masks no more, and it's just that's just a whole nother set of circumstances. So traveling by car, going to visit your siblings, going to visit your extended family. This is great for family reunions. I hope one of my Virgo Risings has a family reunion coming up this summer, because this will be great for you to reconnect with your family. Excellent for that. But this is also the opportunity for those of you that are ready to write that book, finish that book, publish that book, are ready to do that website that you've been putting off, ready to start that small business that you've been trying to do. This is all about signing contracts around that, starting a website. Some of you actually could get the opportunity to do some media projects moving forward. So I don't know if there's someone out there that wants to do a little acting or voiceover work, or wants to start a podcast of some sort. This could actually be something that starts for you here in the next 3 months, 3 to 6 months maybe, but it sets you up for long term. So having a career in media, especially those of you that want to publish a book or start writing a book, this is a great time for you to start writing that book that you've been putting off. Okay? Now, the squaring for the next 3 months is on your health. You're another one that needs to take care of your physical and mental health. You have to make some big changes around how you take care of yourself. Now, Virgo is actually a health conscious sign because it does govern the 6th house. So this is actually the house it governs. So typically, most of the time, Virgos take really, really good care of themselves health-wise. However, Virgos suffer from a lot of mental health issues. They suffer from a lot of OCD. They suffer from a lot of just very, very, I would say self-debilitating type habits. They can over-medicate themselves. You have a family reunion in July. Excellent. My Virgo Risings. So a lot of times you'll find with Virgos, sometimes they can go to the extreme with being healthy. And I know that sounds crazy, but it's a thing. They can go to the extreme with being healthy, and they can put themselves on very strict type diets that are just humanly, you can't sustain this. So I need my Virgo Risings to pay attention to their health, and I want them to really get some mental health assistance. A lot of Virgo Risings suffer from being worriers. They worry from sun up to sundown. I think they worry even in their sleep. They worry too much. Their nerves are usually really, really bad. And I know this because I have a lot of Virgo placements, so I worry a lot about money. And they have these unnecessary, sometimes irrational fears about things. They kind of suffer from a little OCD a lot of the times. Get some mental health help, because I think your mental health is going to be, if it's not already being tap danced on, it's coming up. Take care of that. A lot of stress with your work environment. I don't know what's going on with my Virgo risings around their work environment, and this is the environment itself. I don't know if you're having issues with people you work with. I don't know if you're having issues in the space that you're working in, but I need you to, whatever this is that you're going through work-wise or in your work environment, I need you to work that out, because that's causing a lot of stress. Libra risings, sun or moon. The eclipse is in your second house of money. Now, this is a very simple house. This is how you earn your money. How you earn your money, your material possessions, your value system, okay? And your actual voice is here. It's a strange place to be, but it is. So Libra risings, just all about your money. Some of you are going to lose a job. Okay, I'm just going to put it out there. This could be the loss of a job, okay? I do not want you to worry, and I know it's easier said than done because it ain't my job, but the loss of a job to put you in a better place. Maybe some of you have been holding on to a job that really is not where you want to be, number one. Number two, doesn't pay you your worth. Or number three, you could be in a job that pays you a lot of money, but you hate it. And it is just like, this is not what I want to do. So some of you could be losing a job. Some of you could be just leaving a job and to find something else for yourself. Some of you are deciding that I don't want to be working for anybody anymore. I want to have my own business. And this is all about your money. Now, this is also about how you spend your money. And if you are Libra rising that's been out of control with your spending and you need to have better spending habits, this is about you learning how to manage money better, okay? Manage your money better. Stop spending your money frivolously, getting on a budget. This is a time for you to do that. And this is also the area of material possessions. So if you have an unhealthy attachment or an unhealthy relationship with money, or an unhealthy relationship with buying material possessions, this is the time for you, girl, maternity leave, technically losing my job. Okay, well, you're not, okay. So I got somebody on here that's going on maternity leave, so technically she's losing her job, but she's going on maternity leave. That's a beautiful thing. I'd lose a job behind a baby too. But if you have this unhealthy attachment with money, an unhealthy relationship with money, and for example, you tie a lot of your self-worth into how much money you have, or your emotions are governed and controlled by your finances. So, and I know none of us feel good when we don't have any money, but if you have this unhealthy attachment with money, and money literally governs how you feel about yourself and how you feel about others, you need to start to work to release that. That is not going to serve you well with the remainder of your life. So you should not let money have that much control over you. So that is something that you're going to need to work to release about yourself. And some of you are just going to become less materialistic. So if you've been a materialistic person for the better part of your life, some of you are going to be like really looking at like, this really doesn't make me happy. I don't really care about buying the latest car. I mean, having a new car every 2 years, or buying the latest shoe, or buying just releasing from material possessions, but replacing those things that are more of value. So this is about you going back to that, being serious about your money. And when I make purchases, now I make purchases of things of value that hold their value. I buy real estate. I buy stocks. If I buy a piece of jewelry, this is something that will be considered a collector's item later on down the road, and it increases in value. So that's all about what you're going to be doing over the next 6 months with this eclipse energy is how you deal with your money and your material possessions and the value you place on money. Now, Libra Risings, the squaring could be in your fifth house. So you're another one that could have getting serious about dating, getting serious about a relationship that you've been in. This could also be a little bit of upheaval with the kids. Doesn't matter how old your children are. And maybe it's not even the relationship you have with your children. Maybe your children are just going through a difficult time in their lives and they need added support from you, okay? Maybe, like I said, it doesn't matter how old they are. Maybe they're going through, your son has got his first heartbreak and he got his heart broken. Now he feel like the world is just falling apart, and so you're dealing with that. Or maybe your daughter didn't get into the school that she wanted to get to and she's disappointed by that. So it could be they're going through transition in their own life that you have to be there and be supportive of for this, okay? And you're another one who needs to get serious about a hobby and turning it into a business. But if you're dating, this could be getting serious about the dating, the person you're dating, or this could actually be some of you just saying, you know what, this ain't working, I don't want to be bothered with this fool, so I'm moving on. That could be it. Scorpio rising, sun or moon, this is all about you because this eclipse is going to be in your sign. So transformation. And when I say transformation for Scorpio risings, I'm talking about externally and internally. So some of my Scorpio risings changing their exterior presence. So this could be some of you getting a new wardrobe. This could be some of you getting a new hairstyle. This could be some of you really thinking about doing some serious cosmetic surgery changes. It's all about transformation and showing up differently. Now, I would say, Scorpio risings, if you take the next 6 months to really focus on your health and fitness, you could be in awesome shape within the next 6 months. That is up to you. So that is the outside out physical aesthetic of you could change. Now, once we start making those changes, you show up differently. Your internal energy changes. It transforms. Scorpio risings and Scorpio suns and people with a lot of Scorpio placements, you guys are going to show up very much differently. Very, very much differently. Until people are going to probably say to you, you look so different, your energy feels different, so there's something different about you, okay? So this is all about transforming yourself. And of course we know once we start transforming our physical, once we start transforming our internal energy, we draw different opportunities to ourselves. So any area of your life, I want my Scorpio risings or my Scorpio suns to start to set those personal goals for themselves. This is the time that it's time for you to really take a good hard look at yourself. At this point in your life, where do I see myself in the next 5, 10, 15 years? And how do I get to where I want to be in the next 5, 10, 15 years? And actually setting up the plan and the blueprint to get yourself to that, okay? Now, you may experience over the next 3 months some pressure by way of family and family dynamics. Now, and I noticed something that happens when people start to make changes to themselves, changes to their personality and their energy and how they're showing up. A lot of times the people closest to us have a hard time with the changes. So this may be showing up in your family that people are not understanding what it is you're doing, how it is you're changing, and they're uncomfortable with it. And a lot of times the reason they're uncomfortable with it is because if you change, that means they may not be able to handle you the way they used to. I may not be able to get the benefits from you like I used to. So if I have you in a certain way and you start to deviate out of that box, that means that you may start to not show up for me the way I want you to show up. This change and transformation you are going through, could rub some family members the wrong way. Now, I don't know what that is. I don't know why that is. But again, people don't like people to change, especially if it no longer benefits them. So you may run up with some resistance to your change. I would say to my Scorpios, if you feel like you need support from people to make changes in your life, you need to toughen up, because I don't think you're going to get the support that you feel like you should get from the people that are closest to you. All right. I'm just going to leave it at that. This transformation you're going on is probably going to be a solo transformation, and I don't think you're going to get a lot of support. It just is what it is. Everybody can't come on your journey with you, and you just have to accept that. But again, family is family. And if you are in a toxic situation with a family member, do not be afraid just to walk away. You don't have to stay. I don't know why we've gotten in this culture of just because we family, I got to take your abuse. No, I don't. I do not. So if you are having that issue with someone and you cannot find common ground, you cannot find a way to work this thing out, then you're probably going to have to just walk away from the relationship if it can't be transformed into a different way. Okay? Do we have any Sagittarius risings or Sagittarius suns? The lunar eclipse is going to be in your 12th house. The 12th house is the house of endings, traumas, healings, specialized populations, hospitals, rehab centers, prisons. That's also the area that governs the afterlife and our spiritual life. Sagittarius risings. The eclipse could possibly bring someone into your life from the past. Okay. Now keep in mind, we're going to be in the middle of a Mercury retrograde, so all of us could be getting blasts from the past. But for my Sagittarius rising, this could bring somebody back from the past. This could also bring back some unresolved traumas. So a lot of times when we have trauma in our life, we feel like because we have pushed it down and we don't talk about it, we don't think about it, that we've healed from it. And that is not necessarily true. The only thing you've done is suppressed it. This energy could bring up any type of traumas that you have been holding on to and that you have been suppressing in an effort for you to resolve them, in an effort for you to address them. So it is time for healing. It is time for closure. It is time for us to acknowledge the hurt. We have to acknowledge the hurt in order to heal it. So this will be great for my Sagittarius risings to start the healing process. So you're another one. If you need to go to therapy, whether you think you need it or not, we all need a little therapy in our life, whatever that looks like for you. This is also, over the next 6 months, I want my Sagittarius risings to make an effort to incorporate self-care, whatever that is. Whether that is you take a day once a week, you go get your toes polished, or you go buy you some ice cream, or you take you a nice bubble bath, or you light some candles. Whatever it is that you consider self-care, whatever it is you consider loving on yourself, and it don't have to even be one day a week. If self-care can be every day, but looking in the mirror and telling yourself that you're beautiful and you're smart and you're wonderful and you deserve beautiful things and wonderful things to come into your life, that's self-care. I want you over the next 6 months to make an effort to take care of yourself. And again, self-care has everything to do also with taking care of your mental health. If you need help, go and get help. If you need to check yourself into a hospital, because this is also the area that governs hospitals, rehab centers, and prisons. If you need to go and check yourself into a hospital, if you need to go to check yourself into rehab, whether it's inpatient or outpatient, go and get yourself some help. This is also excellent energy for you to address any addictions that you have. So addictions could be addictions to drugs, addictions to alcohol, addictions to sex, which I don't really think ain't nothing wrong with an addiction to sex, but whatever. It could be addictions to shopping or gambling. Whatever the addiction is, and it is wreaking havoc on your life, or it's not anything that's positive for you, it is time for you to address those addictions, address that healing, address this trauma, all of that. What you need to do whatever you need to do. This is also an energy that some of you, especially those of you that are spiritually in tuned, could either be receiving downloads from the universe, could be having paranormal experiences. So this could be your ancestors coming to you and talking to you, you feeling like you are being divinely protected in some way. Lean into that energy. I know some of you are going to say, I don't believe in that, whatever. For those of you that do, you could be connecting with the afterlife, with people that have crossed over. Dreams get very, very vivid during this time. So if you're one of those that has an active dream life over the next 6 months, and you wake up and you can remember your dream, I would implore you to write them down. Write your dreams down. Write your daydreams down. Write messages that you receive through music. They may not make sense at the time, but at some point they will make sense and you'll understand what the message was. Music is going to send you a lot of messages. This could also be you encountering people in your day-to-day life that either remind you of someone, triggers a memory in you, or the person says something to you. That is a message from the divine. That is a message from either God, that's the message from the universe, that's the message from your ancestors. You need to be open to those types of communications. I need you guys to open up spiritually and receive the information, okay? Now, this could also be some of you who's dealing with someone with a prison situation. I don't know what that is, so I don't know if it's somebody going to prison. I hope you're not going to prison, but it is what it is. Or this could more than likely be someone reaching out to you that's in jail or prison, or someone is about to be released from prison that is, for whatever reason, a significant part of your life, and that's going to be picked up again. I don't know what that is. I don't know what y'all going to do with it, but that's your business. Now, your squaring energy, where you might feel a lot of pressure in the next 3 months, has to do with your siblings. More than likely it's your siblings or your extended family, or some difficulties with your neighbor or your neighborhood. Whatever pressure that is, it's over the next 3 months. I don't know how you want to handle that. I'm just giving you a heads up that those dynamics may come up for you. Unfortunately, this is the area that governs your vehicles and transportation. Some of my Sagittarius risings, I hope you don't have car issues, but you could. And remember, we're in the middle of a Mercury retrograde, so that could be something that comes up for you. But this may be pressure around your communication. Maybe you're not communicating effectively, or maybe things that you're saying people are not really understanding, and you feeling like you're communicating what your thoughts and your needs and your desires are, and everybody's just missing the message. So it's stuff around that, but I think it has to do with your siblings and difficulties with your family dynamic with them. Capricorn risings, sun or moon, the eclipse is going to be in your 11th house. Your 11th house is about your friends, your associates, your social groups that you're connected to, technology, long-term goals, dreams, and wishes. So with this eclipse, this could eclipse out some friendships. So some of your friendships could end. Maybe if they're not ending, the dynamics of your friendships change. So maybe some of your friendships, you need to look at whether or not these friendships really still make sense. Maybe some people you thought were your friend turned out that they're really not your friend. Or maybe dynamics in the friendship, you're like, you know what, we need to change how we interact with each other. Or this could be a reconnection of you and your friends, but the relationship changes, okay? So a lot of energy around your relationships with people in a friendship type of thing. This could actually have you thinking about joining organizations on and offline, whatever that looks like. I don't know if you want to join a sorority or a fraternity, or you want to do some networking in a business organization or a group, or maybe you decide to do some type of project with a group. Maybe you're working in a group setting of some sort. maybe that comes up. And this is also about your long-term goals, dreams, and wishes. So this is definitely a transformation over your long-term goals. Now, this is not just goals that I'm going to lose 20 pounds in 2 months. No, this is the goals that we make for ourselves that are very serious and are long-term. So getting serious about where we're seeing our future, you know, what direction we're going in, whether that's our career, whether that's marriage, whether we want to have children, whether that's, you know, where we want to live. Our long-term goals, you're really going to have to reassess. And if they need to be changed, they need to be changed. If they need to be adjusted, they need to be adjusted. Or if they need to be completely thrown out, then it is what it is. Now, the squaring could come over the next 3 months in the area of your money. So there's going to be a lot of pressure on your finances. A lot of pressure on your finances, on your budget, how you spend money. So basically with my Capricorn Risings or my Capricorn Suns, you're just going to have to like really just kind of like get on a budget and not spend frivolously and just kind of like tighten the belt with your money and not splurge and just get on a budget. So your finances may be a little bit limited over the next 3 months. You know, it is what it is. We all go through that period of, you know, our money ain't right and it's a little bit funny. So your money may be a little bit funny. But Capricorn is the most, for me, one of the most resourceful signs when it comes with money. They can definitely know how to make a penny stretch. So I'm not so much worried about them, but just understand that your money is going to be on the tighter end over the next 3 months. Okay? Aquarius Risings, Sun or Moon. The eclipse for you. And I just have to reiterate, when I'm talking about this eclipse, we are talking about the decisions we make over the next 6 months that are going to impact us over the next several years. Okay? Keep that in mind. Aquarius Rising, this is about your career and career decisions. So it's in the house of your career, your titles, authority figures, the prominent men around you or in your circle, and how you're seen in the public. So one of the things that you're looking at with regards to your career, where is your career going? Is there changes that you want to make with your career? Do you see yourself in this career path for the next 5, 10, 15 years? This is a time over the next 6 months that you need to make a decision on where you see yourself career-wise, work-wise. Do you need to get a new job? Do you need to go back to school to educate yourself to get a better position? Did you need to design a plan for your career path? This is also the area that governs authority figures. Do you need to meet with your manager or your supervisor or your boss to figure out what do I need to do to move up in the company? Or do you want to just leave what you're currently doing and start another career for yourself? If you're a little bit older, is this, you know, are you ready to start a second career or a third career in a totally different field? But this is all about your career path and what you're doing by way of work. Now, this is also the area that governs the titles that we wear and our public image. So over the next 6 months, I'm just going to tell you, some of my Aquarius Risings, Sun or Moons may be questioning their relationship. Whether you're in a marriage, I don't know, somebody's out there struggling with marital issues. I don't know who this is for, but I'm just going to say this. The 10th house governs the titles that we wear. So some of you may be in a marriage thinking about this ain't working and maybe I need to get a divorce. And now I go from being married, wearing the title of somebody's wife or husband, and now I want a divorce and I'm going to be single. I'm wearing the title of single, or vice versa. Maybe somebody's deciding to get married. But because this is a relationship house and because this is how we're seen in the public, I don't know who this is for, but over the next 6 months, this is going to be the make or break it time period for your relationship. And this is going to come down to whether or not you feel like this relationship is sustainable and whether or not you want to stay in this relationship. That is up to you. You know, you have to determine whether or not the dynamics of what is going on can be fixed. Can we adjust it? Is it even being acknowledged? Are the two of you even really talking about the fact that something is going on in the relationship? But over the next 6 months, this is going to be your time to figure out what direction that relationship is going in. And I wish you the best of luck on doing whatever it is that makes you feel good and it's best for both people. Okay? Now, Aquarius Rising, this squaring is going to be in your first house. And funny enough, the first house is all about self and our identity and how we show up. This is about us as an individual. And it's kind of funny because I'm thinking the issue with whomever this is that's having an issue with their marriage has a lot to do with it conflicting with them as an individual. Sometimes when we get into marriages, and I see this particularly with women, when we get married, we somehow lose our identity. We now forget that we were an individual person, and we get wrapped up into being a wife. And now we're just somebody's wife. But you are an individual, you know. You came in as an individual. You have your own mind, your own thoughts, the own way you do things. So what this might be is a conflict of trying to hold on to who you are as an individual, and at the same time figuring out how to be in a relationship or be married or wear the title of being a wife to someone else. Now this could be a husband too, but squaring off is about your identity, about yourself, and retaining who you are as an individual. That may be what's going on with my Aquarius rising sun or moon, who's ever struggling with their identity and trying to figure out who they are at this time. It may be the thing that you've gotten lost from who you are, and you're now trying to figure out who you are at this time. That definitely could be, and I wish you the best of luck with that. I hope you find that balance with being, you know, an individual and being part of a marriage or a relationship or whatever this is. And this could also tie to your career. Maybe you no longer align with what your career is, and you're trying to figure out what it is that resonates with you as far as your career. Okay? And finally, we're at the end of it. Pisces risings, sun or moon. The eclipse is going to be in your 9th house. Foreign travel, long distance travel, higher education, religion, the law, your belief system, your spirituality, media projects, teaching opportunities. So the next 6 months, no, not 6 months, the next 3 months, I keep saying 6 months, the next 3 months, this is all about you acknowledging, you know, whether or not you're ready to go back to school. Some of my Pisces risings could be deciding it's time to go back to school, get educated more, get that advanced degree, get that first degree, whatever it is. Long distance travel. You could be planning a trip for yourself. I hope you can either take the trip in the next 3 months or start the planning of the trip. Long distance travel. So those of you that even you may not have a trip planned, get your passport. A trip could come up in the next few months. This is also about your religion, reconnecting to your faith, reconnecting to your spirituality, your belief system, and also teaching opportunities. I think there's a Pisces rising out there. You're going long distance? Yes! I got somebody going on a long distance trip. Good for you. And this could also be somebody out there getting a teaching opportunity or some type of media type project coming into your life. So working on those types of things for yourself. This is a pretty good house. Education, your belief system, travel. This is pretty good for you over the next 3 months. And Pisces rising is the squaring. For you, it's going to be in your 12th house. And this is the house that you rule. So the 12th house, you're another one. Healing your traumas, healing your addictions, addressing your addictions, taking care of yourself. But you may be feeling this energy the next 3 months in a very pressurized type of way. Like You feel like something is brewing. Now, I will tell you this, Pisces Risings, there may be a secret that comes out. Now, I don't know if this is something that you've been keeping a secret or someone's been keeping a secret from you, but you may discover a secret about someone or some information that comes to you that you did not know about that is very surprising, or something about you comes out prematurely. Maybe you weren't ready to announce it. I don't know. Maybe some of my Pisces Risings are been hiding a relationship or something, and somebody finds out you've been dating someone, and now the cat's out of the bag. Something to that effect. But this is also about you taking care of yourself. A lot of self-care for yourself, particularly over the next 3 months. Take care of yourself. Pamper yourself. Love on yourself. If you need to go to therapy, go get back in therapy. I feel like this is a return to therapy for Pisces Risings. Return to therapy. And maybe hearing from someone in a specialized population, prison, jail, or rehab. Who knows? All right. I think someone wanted me to go of the zodiac. If you missed yours, this is going to be up on the replay. It'll stay up on Facebook. I'll leave it up on Instagram. And the edited version will be on my YouTube channel. I don't know where I stand, but this was very informational. I don't know. You can listen for your, Tony, you can listen for your sun sign. So much. I appreciate you guys hanging in there with me. I know this one took a little bit longer than it normally does, but we had a lot to talk about. Now, if you, again, this is always their general information. Me stop it. This is also always general information. If you want to get a personal reading with me, which I strongly suggest that you do, because then we talk about your personal astrology, just visit my website, www.melaningoddesslife.biz. I think I pinned it in a comment over here. Follow me on all the social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, especially my YouTube channel. I'm trying to grow it. I'm over 600 subscribers on my YouTube channel. I'm trying to get to 1,000 before the year is over, and I can only do that with your support. So follow me on Facebook, where you will find all my astrological content. Thank you so much for hanging in with me. Thank you so much for your continued support. I appreciate it, and I will talk to you guys later. You guys have a great eclipse coming up. And remember, the Mercury retrograde is upon us. So please just kind of like take your time and be careful. And I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.